The gospel tells us that Jesus was tired from the journey, walking a long way across the desert in the sunshine, the hot sunshine, probably not enough water and food, but anyway, he was tired, physically tired. He just wanted to sit down, have a drink of water. We've all known that kind of physical tiredness. Just want to sit down, have a drink of water, take a load off. There's another kind of tired that has to do with our spirits, with our souls. To be tired of in the soul and in our spirit. It's the kind of tired that we feel kind of worn out and worn down. We feel discouraged. And the burden is kind of weighing down on us, the burden of life. We're stressed out. Maybe we're disconnected from other people. We're feeling all alone and all by ourselves. They got to do this all by ourselves. And then we're kind of, it look like we're trapped in a dead end kind of life. The people of Israel felt some of these things in the book of Exodus that we heard from this morning. There they were. God took them out of Egypt where they were slaves, and they're now out in the desert and gone through some things already, but now they're out in the desert, and it looks like they're running out of water, and what are we going to do? Are they die in the desert? You just brought us out here to die with our children and all our animals. They didn't trust God to take care of them. So they just kind of grumbled, as it said. Or the Samaritan woman who met Jesus at the well this morning. We can tell she was probably feeling those same kind of things because of the description that's in there. She's coming out to the well at noon, alone. Who comes out in the heat of the day to get water? Everybody else comes out with their friends in the morning when it's still cooler. She's coming out alone. And later on we found out why. Because she's had 5 husbands, and the man she's living with now is not her husband. And we can well figure that if she's had 5 husbands, she's been emotionally abused, at least emotionally abused, and cast aside. And now she's living with another guy who isn't even her husband, and who knows what that's like. So she's an outcast, she's tired, she's lonely, and she has to go get water anyway, and in the heat of the day. Maybe she was feeling some of those things too, don't you think? What about us? When have we felt, or maybe some of us are feeling it now, kind of worn out and worn down, discouraged, feeling kind of burdened? That's all we have to do, like we got to carry this all by ourselves. Stressed out, maybe disconnected from others, feeling trapped like we're in a dead-end kind of life. Saying, what's the point of it all? When we get in that kind of a situation, what can refresh us? What can bring us back to some hope and some joy in life? What can strengthen us? Well, if we look in the book of Exodus, we found out it's God who did it. God, through Moses, says, I am here. I have never left you. So Moses, take your staff, go over to that rock, give it a whack, and the water will come out. So Moses did, gave the rock a whack, and who would expect? But water came out of the rock, and it refreshed them, gave them the water they need, but it not only gave them water, it renewed their confidence and their faith in God. God is still present to us. He still cares for us. And wouldn't that be refreshing to know that? Strengthened again. Okay, I can go on. God's still here. Or for the Samaritan woman coming there, like I say, she's an outcast and she's overworked and probably abused, emotionally at least. And she comes there and Jesus looks at her and he tells her everything she's ever done, but without judgment and without condemnation. And he offers her the kind of water that will spring up as from a well inside of her. And you'll never run out of that. So he accepts her as she is and offers her something more. And God was present to her in the Son of God, in Jesus Christ himself. It says, I am here, and I am here for you. Trust me. Believe in me. That's what he's saying. She ran back joyfully and pronounced to all the people in her town. Then came out, and you know the rest of the story. Jesus did that to you. Wouldn't you be refreshed? Accepts me as I am and offers me life. Well, that's what it did for the people, the Israelites, and for the Samaritan woman. What about for us? I'll speak for myself. I've been that kind of tired. And what does it for me is having faith in the presence of God in the present moment. How do I get there? Because like for Moses was and like Jesus was, there are people present in my life who are saying, I stand with you. I am here with you. It's been my family, my friends. It's even been people I don't know. They're there. And there have been people there throughout my life. Where they come from, I don't know. Why they're reaching out to me, sometimes I can't figure it out. But I want to tell you one thing, I'm grateful and empowered and refreshed. God sends people into our lives. If we are ready and willing to accept help from other people, I believe it's there. I know some people even find it hard to ask for help. Here it is. Ask for it. Be aware of it. Recognize it when it comes. He sends us his presence through others. He also sends us his presence in prayer. And it's not just praying the rote prayers, which are very good, nothing wrong with them. I do that myself. But also our own kind of a prayer, talking to God. And when we do that, with some attention and expecting to hear something, by golly, sometimes it just happens. Something comes to us we haven't thought before. We're kind of moved in a direction which ends up being life-giving. God comes to us in our prayer. Speaks to us through other people. He also comes to us in the sacraments, like the Eucharist. The body and blood of Christ comes into our lives. How much more real can it get than that? He comes to us and says, I'm still here. Trust me. Believe in me. That's what does it for me. Kind of remember, God's been here all this time. Why wouldn't he be here today? And also he comes with power, because God's power works in the world in ways that we can't even imagine. We wouldn't even dare ask for. Because we're not that creative, you know. How is it that God's worked in our lives? And I need to trust in the power of God. And when I do, things just go so much better. Because a lot of what happens, I do my part, okay. We all need to do our part. But what God does, the bigger part, and has the power to bring things about and bring people together that we have no control over. Pope John the 23rd, now a saint, said that his prayer before he goes to bed at night is, he says, God, this is your church. You take care of it. I'm going to sleep. Isn't that a good prayer? I bet we could adapt it for ourselves. God, this is your world. My life is yours. My loved ones are yours. You take care of it. I'm going to sleep. In the morning I'll get up and I'll do my part. But your power is what we look for. It's like Jesus said to the woman, this water will spring forth and it will refresh you. And it'll be a spring that never ends. You don't have to go running around for water anymore. And some might say, I'm not worthy of that. What I've done in life, where I've been, I'm not worthy of it. I don't think God can do that for me. Huh. Well, my God can. In fact, he did. In Romans that we heard today, it says, even while we were still sinners, Jesus Christ died for us. He's already done it. Now, don't tell me that God can't touch your life or can't touch mine. He's already done it. We're carrying around a medal in our pocket or a purse this Lent that says, there is no greater love to lay down one's life for one's friends, and Jesus has already done that. Believe it, trust in it, look for it. He's there. At the end of the gospel, the people from that Samaritan town they said, we believed because of what you said, but now we have heard for ourselves, and we know that Jesus Christ is our Savior. We need to be able to say for ourselves, I have heard for myself, and I know that Jesus Christ is there. He tells us of his presence, and that refreshes and strengthens us.